Hello, everyone. Once again, I want to thank all of you for your support, for watching my videos, for liking, for subscribing, for helping this channel grow. Please continue to do that. Um, I want to show a very instructive game played by a student of mine online about a week ago. His name is Sudeep. He's rated close to 1300 in real life. And about a week ago, he set out to become much better. So he plays a lot of chess. A lot of it is bullet, but such is life. This, however, was a 10-minute game, which was very instructive. And let's take a look. We have e4, e6, the French defense, d4, white takes the center, knight e7, which is not terrible, just a little weird. Um, Sudeep builds an even better center, pawn c4. Knight g6. Knight g6 again is not terrible. Sometimes this knight can go to f4 with proper support, but right now black is not developing very quickly. Knight c3. Knight c3 is a good move. One downside of this knight being here, sometimes he might be harassed with h4, h5. Bishop e7. Again, black is not playing very ambitiously. He's getting ready to castle short. Sudeep develops, which is fine. d6. Black gets a little bit more space. b3. b3 is not terrible. Sudeep wants to put a bishop on this diagonal, and from here, it's going to potentially do things. Bishop d7. Black is playing, again, very, very, very unambitiously. Sudeep continues with his plan. Knight c6. Black's passive development continues. Sudeep gets ready to castle short. Black plays knight f4, which is a good move. That was one of the points behind this. An argument could have been made for playing g3 and then bishop g2 instead of bishop here, but this is still okay. Sudeep just castles and allows this trade. We could have also dropped the bishop back and played g3, which is fine. Anyway, and black decides to start an attack, which is an interesting idea. He's not quite developed, and his king is not well positioned for this. Usually, when something like this happens, you would like to start a counterattack in the middle, which is what Sudeep tries to do. And this kind of guarantees that something somewhere will open up, starting with this bishop. Okay, knight 95 by black. Sudeep takes right away. Another possible move is to move this knight and open up this bishop. Sudeep takes. Black takes back. And Sudeep drops the bishop back. And again, this is why maybe I would have played knight b5 first, because we end up moving this bishop a couple of times. We don't have too much to show for it. Sudeep is trying to get rid of this knight now, which is a fairly good knight. Black plays bishop f6, which I guess plans to move the queen and castle long, because the bishop here is not the greatest piece in the world. Sudeep decides to take, and here black decides to take with this pawn, which makes perfect sense to reopen this bishop. Sudeep defends the knight and gets the rook away from the diagonal. Now the knight can move. Queen e7, black gets ready to castle long. Sudeep plays rook e1, which I'm not sure how necessary it is. If we get a couple of moves in a row, we would like to move our bishop and play e5, of course, but we might not get that. And black plays a terrible move, but terrible positionally. It does not lose anything, but if you look at this bishop, it kind of plays chess. Yes, this could be a concern, but I would much rather put my bishop here, which keeps it active and also allows for this pawn to move, than to put my pawn here, where now my bishop is just not the bishop anymore. It does open up this guy, but that's not amazing. So d-play is a very good move. In chess, there is a concept of good pieces and bad pieces. If you notice a couple of our pawns on the light squares, which means this bishop is a little bit restricted. So what Sudeep is trying to do is to trade that bishop for black's bishop. And this is black's good bishop because this is his bad one. It's also being restricted. So this is a useful concept to remember. Try to trade off your bad pieces. Okay, black castles. So deep trades, it's fine. At some point, it needs to happen. Black takes back, and now we have opposite side castling, which means white will need to attack here, and black will probably need to attack here. So deep plays h3, which I don't like. The point is, it makes it easier for black to open things up. Yes, it slows down g4 for one move, but now the problem is black plays h5. He renews this threat. And so deep stops, and now black goes crazy. But black should just build this up with the idea of something like rook g8. And now this becomes possible, and black is doing quite well. An important rule to remember, when you've been attacked, unless it really, really helps you, don't move pawns in front of your king because it will make it easier and faster for black to attack you. Instead, it's probably better to just start something on the queen side right away. Anyway, h3, h5, which is good, and now black goes crazy and plays h4. Black needed to open up the position, instead he closes it. And, I mean, now you can't really do this. So I don't know what this was about, but this is instructively terrible move to make. And now Sudeep starts his own attack on the other side of the board, pawn b4. Black needs to open the position, so he's trying to sacrifice a couple of pawns to do so, but that goes back to what I said previously. This was a terrible move, which means that now black has to resort to doing this. Okay, Sudeep takes, that's fine. Black tries to bring his bishop into the game. He might sacrifice another pawn. Sudeep notices, this is important, pay attention to your opponent. He notices the bishop might potentially open up, so he preemptively moves his rook away from the square. Black sacrifices the second pawn. Okay. Sudeep takes. And now the bishop is trying to come in. And now white is up 2 pawns, so he says, okay, I don't even need to checkmate you, although I still can. But also, I just want to get rid of your good bishop. Black plays here, so Sudeep takes anyway. Now, the reason black played here is he thought that after takes, his rook will open up. But Sudeep takes because he calculated, then he can keep everything together. So black takes, king g2, defending this pawn, and now we can possibly bring the rook and defend this pawn more. Black plays here, and black is countering Sudeep to take. And Sudeep makes a very, very nice calculation that taking is not so good because it will make it easier for black to attack. Instead, he's going to keep this pawn here and use it as a defender for his own king. Also, this is happening right now. So Sudeep stops that. Also contains his attack. Black brings the queen to attack this pawn. Sudeep defends. Black doesn't have an attack. f5 to try to open up more things. Sudeep simply takes. And again, this pawn does a beautiful job protecting the white king. Black cannot use this line. Black cannot use anything. Queen f4 does not really do anything. So Sudeep offers a queen trade because he's up 3 pawns. If he trades, he's just winning. So black avoids the trade. That makes sense. a4 to continue the attack. There were other ways of doing it, but this is good. Queen f6 to maybe try to bring more pieces into the attack. b5. Sudeep is just continuing his plan. Rook h4. c6 to open up the king. Black keeps the position closed. If he opens it, we'll take this way, and in a second our queen will figure out how to get here. Or this way, whichever one is faster. At any rate, black closes the position, but now, of course, we open it again, and we are trying to get our queen in here. Black doubles up. Of course, the d takes. Now this line is open. Black takes back. Rook a2. Now we use this line. We have a one move checkmate threat. King b8. So Deep's move here is not best, but it's good enough. The best move is just rook here because this is unstoppable. So Deep drops the rook back with a similar idea of bringing the queen. And this is good enough. Alright, black triples up. The problem is our attack is faster. Queen a2, and it's game over. On the next move, there was nothing black can do. So we checkmate. Several rules, very instructive game. Great job to Sudeep. Several rules to remember. Rule number one, when you be on attack, in the positions with opposite side castling, you do not want to play a move like this, which will make it easier for your opponent to open the position. Second point is you actually need to open up the position, which is why a move like h4 is terrible. Third point is sometimes you can use your opponent's pawn to protect yourself, which is what Sudeep has done this game. He could have taken a number of times, but he never does. And this pawn serves as a wonderful defender for his king. Very instructive game. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, please subscribe, and I will be back hopefully soon. Thank you.